I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mob Candy Magazine. I'm Frank DiMatteo, publisher. Chris Chiarmonte, my partner to my left. Let's go, Chris.
Let's do it. Another episode. I think we're up to like, I don't know, 9 or 10. It's I think we're going quick pretty much. I can't believe how much content.
Yeah, we're going.
I've been throwing the content on mobcandymagazine.com.
Right.
And pretty much if any of the viewers want to see the full episodes of any of the episodes, or buy some merch, it's up to them. But they go to mobcandymagazine.com for anything. And then that's going to be the hub pretty much for everything we do. The magazines will be up there. The books will be up there. The content for the show will be up there. And all of our social media will be up there. On social media, which, is like Twitter, or I guess they call X, the TikTok. They do TikTok now, and we do mostly Facebook. The page is Facebook, and it's a Mob Candy Magazine TV show. But if you Google Mob Candy, you'll find us everywhere. All right, this is the thing. This is the one show that's gonna go. And each one is a podcast now. I don't know if you knew that. So for anyone that has, like, let's say they likes to listen to the show, in their car or in their radios, they could go to wherever you find podcasts, like Spotify or whatever these, all these places, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Amazon Music. They all have, I think, episode 1 and 2 are up. And
it's just hearing it.
They can listen
visual.
to it. No visuals.
They hear my voice.
They hear your voice. I
they're
know.
in trouble.
I know. Some people like it.
If they could understand.
There is some crazy feedback on the Mob Candy Magazine TV show Facebook page about these shows. And I'll be honest with you. We started with no followers, and I said, well, we need a social media presence. So I threw it up there, and I started throwing clips. The producers, I don't mention them much, but I'd like to mention them because they're really good people. David Zucker and Liza Galazzo. They got me this program. If you're going to be the social media guy, then you got to do this, and it's amazing. It turns YouTube videos into multiple clips,
right.
And I've been posting these multiple clips, and in 3 months we grew to 14,000 followers. So that's 14,000 people that now know who Frank DiMatteo is. I mean, they don't give a fuck who Chris Chiarmonte is, but I'm going to take this one day and make a video game again, because that's my dream. I want to make my Mafia life game again. We'll probably have to call it Mob Candy, but I'll make something where you can climb the ranks and be a Mafia member and whack your boss or something like that on
do the whole Gallo war through it
on the phone. Like, I'll do like an app or something, because no one's doing that anymore.
No.
So we'll have to bring that up. But I'll have fun with the entertainment stuff. We'll leave the real life stuff to you. But as they're getting to know who Frank DiMatteo is, I've noticed that there is a shitload of people, even though it's the same people repeating themselves, that are either. Have you been reading the Facebook page? Any of the comments?
I've read hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I've read thousands over the last 18 years.
Right.
And out of, let's say, 100,000, maybe I read 100 bad things. So usually we don't get no bad press, not at all, reviews. No. But you get very few, and they're stupid as hell.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not the one to give them like the shine, because the best thing to do is ignore them.
Right. Well, I laugh. You see what I do.
As a social media guy, I feel grateful because the more they talk shit, the more the views of the pages go by.
Right.
They're only helping us.
Yes.
So I figured I'll spend 2 minutes giving them a little bit of attention. There was a couple people on the picture of the crew members. You gave me a picture, a history picture.
Yeah.
that had like your father in it.
We're at the San Susan. Stevie Gallo.
Yeah, Stevie
Eddie
Gallo,
Futon, me.
Bobby Borriello was in it and stuff like
it
that.
was Eddie Futon, it's Kid Anthony, me, Stevie Gallo, and my father.
Yeah. And there was one guy, what'd you call him? The keyboard,
Keyboard tough guy.
He said everybody was a jerk off.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to that person, just for the shits and giggles?
I just can't believe that someone just even say that about people they don't know, and just want to say that. I mean, I'm amazed because I know personally that my father would have shot him in the fucking face if he ever said that to his face. And that guy Eddie Futon, the one that left in the back, had more bodies than God. Now you don't have to like these guys. You can say you don't like them, that they were bad and evil, but jerk offs. I mean, I really love to. I would love to see this guy go to a wise guy today who's out there that's really a tough guy out there and call him a jerk off. I just want to watch.
They don't do that though.
No, of course not. I want to watch. I want to watch what that guy breaks his face open.
They only
or disappears. If they can't beat him up, if the guy's tough and beats him up, he's gonna die anyway because nobody's gonna get beat up and get away with it. I just like to see that. Why you do that? I mean, I don't know why you do it. Number one, they're dead people. You don't know them. Why would you say that? I mean, I just don't know that. Why people say stupid shit.
So
like
I don't
that.
know what your name is, but I gave you 2 minutes on my TV show. So there you go. There's your response from Frankie personally that you could pretty much go fuck yourself.
And then, I mean, give me a real moron. Another one turned around, an Irish guy turns around and called the guy a wapo. Why would you do that? It's 2025. Oh, we don't like each other here?
Yeah.
You don't even know that guy because he's Italian. You call him a wop? I mean, it's stupid shit. 2025.
It's funny.
And the keyboard's is easy doing that, man. But
that never happens in person.
I never saw. I've been around a long time. I never saw that. I saw people be stupid, and I saw people get hurt. Yeah. I told you. I was with Bobby Borriello and Preston. It's a fact. Go up. It's history. It's public record. A guy can run in a plumber on President Street had a storefront there and a little garage. He comes flying down the block fast. Bobby Borriello and Preston Geritano was standing there. They yelled at him. He got nasty. They shot him right in the fucking right on Pleasant Street. That's how Bobby Borriello wound up in jail.
But that wasn't a planned hit. That was just a reaction.
They just shot him in the face because he got nasty with them. Boom. Shot him right there.
Wow.
Standing on the corner.
That's crazy.
Right on their own block in front of the club. That's how Bobby wound up meeting John Gotti on that pinch.
Really?
Yeah. People don't know this because, if you're not there, you don't know. I'm privy to something because my father was there.
Right.
I never said that I'm a recruit. I want to be a gangster. I want to kill people, hit them baseball bats. I never said that anywhere I go. Yeah. I was privy there because my father was bodyguard.
Yeah.
Wound up from 61 to Joey dying. So these kids these people are like uncles to me.
They don't understand. Another common theme is just that they say that you were too young.
I was too young.
A couple people thought that you were too young.
Yeah.
To be talking about Joey Gallo. How does he know about Joey Gallo?
How do I know Joey Gallo?
How do you know about Joey
16.
Gallo?
I'm 16 when Joey came out of jail. 16. 16 guys killed people already by 16.
Actually, I think I posted a picture that you gave me of that when you were 16 years old.
Yeah.
Right? You were with mommy at the pool or something like that? I'm not sure. What pictures?
I was 15 in that one. 16, yes, in that one. The one on corner, that was 73. I think I was, 17 there. Do I look like a kid? I don't think so.
No.
People say stupid shit. But it gets me the best is when that movie Goodfellas comes out. A wise guy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Goodfellas?
Yes.
Goodfellas. And Henry Hill, the junkie, being a rat, writes a book or somebody helps him write a book. And it opens up that he's 11 years old, going on 12, running for Paulie Vario. Everybody's jumping in the air. What a great movie. And no one questions nothing.
No one questions that.
Nothing.
How can you be
11, 12.
in the life
I'm
at
saying I'm
11 years old?
16. I'm sitting in the club because I'm privy to sit in the club. Even if I was given coffee, not a gangster, they question that. I go, something's wrong with this, man.
Well, again, it's a few people. But you know what? We gave them the attention because because we're big freedom of speech advocates.
Yeah, you can say what you want.
You want to say what you want to say, but you'll never say it to the face.
You never say it to the face. Because I always tell everybody, to say it to someone's face, either you want to go to jail or you want to go to a cemetery. Why would you want to do that now for bullshit?
Right. No,
unless you're a retard. I mean,
sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you want to make your bones, or you want to do. You're gonna make your bones. Do what?
Yeah.
So life in jail. You can't sneeze without a camera, or you're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. So Unless you got real hard on for someone.
So I want to kind of push into the idea of about all these people around you, and the concept of not necessarily nicknames, but you had a lot of guys around you. Name a few people that were around you, in that life, or even around like the Gallows, the Crew, the President Street Boys. What were their names?
Well, when I was a kid coming up, everybody had nicknames. Everybody down there. You had Mooney. You had which was John Anthony, Joseph. Joseph was
all Italian names, by the way.
You had Stormy. You had Mooney. You had Smokey. You had Tarzan. You had Louis the Syrian, Sammy the Syrian. Rosario Musico was Roy. Blast.
Yeah. You were close with Roy.
I was very close with Roy. Because the younger guys, when you went down President Street, had to stay with Roy. You couldn't stay in the Big Boys Club, which is Joey's club or Albert's club.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't stay there. That was the young guys stood across the street. We went across the street to serve coffee,
Yeah.
clean the joint up, and there was a couple guys that did that. But you didn't go sit with them because you're too young. Those guys talked among themselves.
But you could hang out with Roy.
You stay in the young guys club, which is Roy was the mentor for all the young guys. Guys like me, Bombadil, Frankie Bajuto, Fayella, Coco, Vinny Capisi, he's still around. We went there. So,
What was the name of the club that you guys used to?
They were all longshoreman clubs. They were just private clubs.
Okay.
But the only one had a name was a longshoreman club. That was Armando's. It was there since the 40s. Punchy, Pete the Greek.
Yeah.
You
you mentioned a lot of local stuff in downtown Brooklyn, places in the book, Lying in the Basement, and growing up Mafia. There was one place, the Butcher's Inn, and you had mentioned that you saved Roy's life in the Butcher's Inn.
Yeah.
And that you wouldn't, there's something that, I think the way you alluded to it is like, you guys, it
was a scary moment.
It was a scary moment.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate or go into a little bit?
It was a Friday night. We're all dressed up. We're going out drinking. Butcher's Inn was one of the places we hung out in. I come in the place all dressed up. I'm like a normal weekend night. And Roy was in the corner of the bar, and I see this monster next to him. It wound up being, what's his name? God. It was Carmine's bodyguard. What's his name? I forgot his name now.
Carmine the Snake's bodyguard?
Carmine's bodyguard. Oh, Apple's
Okay.
McIntosh.
McIntosh.
Apple's
Okay.
a massive guy. And he's in the corner of the bar, and Roy's right next to him. I come in, I see that, I know there's a problem. And I go right next to Roy. I didn't say nothing to Roy. I ordered dudes and water, talking to the barmaid, and I don't say nothing. And Apples is ripping Roy in the asshole. I mean, he's just being abusive. He was drinking, and Roy was he's stuck there. He was, come on, boom, boom. And Apples at one point leaned over Roy and said, "Hey, you." And I turned around to him, and he goes, "What are you going to do when I shoot him? When I shoot him? What are you going to do when I shoot him in the head?" And I told him,
He said it to you?
Yeah. He leaned over Roy and said, "What are you going to do when I shoot him in the head?" I said, "You better have 2 guns in that bullet. You better have 2 bullets in that gun." And he looked back, and he went to Roy and goes, "Who the fuck is he?" And Roy said, "That's Ricky's son."
Right.
And he just settled that back down. He got up, and he said, "I told Roy, I'll speak to you later." And he left. I'm sitting there. Roy turns around to me and says, "What the fuck you do?" I said, "What the fuck I do? I'm doing nothing. What I do?" He goes, "You should have walked out." You said, "I'm going to walk out and leave you?" And for like a half an hour, you ripped me a new asshole for staying there because he didn't want me to get hurt or in trouble. You know what I mean?
But ultimately, you did save his life.
I saved his ass.
Because it probably would have escalated.
Sure. The guy like that drinking would have shot him right in the bar or broke his face. He was a big guy. And, after an hour, 2, 3 hours of drinking, Roy calmed down and said, "You did the right thing, but I don't want you to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want you to." And I said, "Roy, I only can do what I can do, And that story was that. But, Roy was in big trouble that day. Yeah. And I just reacted because I didn't know, you had to do something. You're in the life. You know what to do. I was nervous. It was nerve-wracking. That guy was a moose. You know what I mean? It was a moose.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that those days when you know the type of people you guys have to be,
you got to do that.
You're in that frame of mind.
Yes.
You can't be afraid that something's going to happen. You have to just.
And plus,
react.
I had a pistol on me too.
Right.
I had a pistol on me too.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it would have.
You know, it would have been pretty. You know,
you choose that. That's another thing too. There's a lot of people that were angry about the people in the mob or the mafia.
Right.
You know, or think down about, you know, I think one of the guys on the, you know, on social media was, you know, I mean, I'm assuming that a couple people emulate that thought of like, you know, that they like the bad people, like once a thief, always a thief. And I remember getting into it with him on the internet, not from someone who knows it, but someone who can speak about it. In terms of that, you guys agree to a lifestyle.
Exactly.
I don't know the makings of, you know, the agreement and the burning of the saint and the omerta and who's made and who's not made, but in general, a very out of the box generalized point of view is the people in that life really only hurt
each other.
The people in the life.
Yeah.
You're not
99.9. It's within themselves. There's a problem.
And you all agreed to
live by that rules.
To live by that rules.
Sure.
And that most likely, the people that are in that life most likely know that they're going to either die or be in jail
rest of their life.
Nobody thinks they're going to just escape.
No.
You know.
No. You try to stay ahead of everything, but you know.
And there were few people that were able to, let's say, die of old age.
Yeah.
You know, and even less than that, there were people that died of old age, but weren't able to take their money with them. No, I'm not talking about that, but they didn't die rich.
No.
Most people used their money as it was,
right.
and then became ordinary, you know.
Well, some guys live for the day. You know, a lot of guys live because it was always coming in every day. There's always some kind of action going on.
It's not like an investment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, I'm sure there's a lot of mobsters that think to themselves, wow, if I had a little bit of that money that was in the mattresses and stashed it away,
right.
You know, and bought property or something like that, you know, they'd be in good shape.
A lot of guys didn't think that way because the money, cash came in every day. You're always doing something. Everybody was always approaching you to do something. Who needed help, you know.
Right. But
so you'd never think of that. You think it's never going to end.
Right.
So you know, some guys are smarter than other guys, and you know they take good money. They take bad money and make a good money, but not everyone because there was thousands and thousands of gangsters. Right. Not everyone's doing well.
Right.
You know?
So like, you know, it's so not to glorify the lifestyle. You know, and not to say like, oh, that they were great people, individual, right? Because again, I'm not of the life, and there could be a notion. You know, I've thought to myself like, in order to be the type of person that hurts somebody else for whatever reason, like in the Catholic religion, or you know, just being a Christian alone, and a lot of other religions that just separate the good and the bad. You know, when you do something bad, you're a bad person.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? But it hits different. That's what I want to say. It hits different, at least to know that the people that are doing bad are only doing bad to the people that agree to doing bad. It was an agreement like that of everybody in the circle. It's not like you're hurting an innocent person outside of the circle and so forth. Although every now and then there's a residual effect.
Well, something happens. I mean, an outsider might come in but does something wrong.
Right.
They're gonna get it. You know what I mean? A fight in a bar, or somebody, the outside is not part of that life. But you mess with a guy that's crazy or in that life, it's gonna happen. It doesn't happen all the time. I've read people drive-by shootings, people got hurt, and innocent people. It happens every now and then. There's probably more legitimate people and crazies in the street killing people now and then than these guys killed, outside of killing themselves.
Right.
They've killed more themselves than anybody else if you do the numbers.
Yeah. Did talk about podcasting in general. Like I noticed a lot of wise guys are I use the word retiring, but like you were able to get out of the life, and we tell your story in other episodes about how you were able to do that, and then not that many people can get out of their life without either,
No, we were lucky.
You just got lucky, and a lot of these people came out of jail, did time or whatever, and they're podcasters now, like Michael Francesi. Let's see, there's a couple of them. Sammy the Bull.
Most of them are all informants that got a pass. That's why they can talk so much freely and so interesting, because they're all informants. And they all, ratted or whatever the reason was. I have no problem with none of them. It was none of my business.
Did you have any crossings or dealings with Sammy the Bull back in the day?
No. When I met John, I met him twice through Bobby Borriello. I don't know if that was when he was going to court. So I never met John, Sammy, no. Michael Francesi, I sat over summer in Georgetown. My father was doing business with his father. He drove his father, and I drove my father. That's how, it was. We spoke. And those other guys I never met. Mazza, we just had mutual friends.
Larry Mazza, yeah.
Mutual friends, especially my uncle Joe Shep. Joe Shep, and I Joe Shep,
Right.
So
Shapani was his name,
yes.
right?
But I don't know them, Al Light, all these guys. I mean, I don't know them. I don't converse with them. I don't do nothing with
Joe
these guys.
Shep was a driver for Lucky Luciano.
Yeah, he was with Lucky. He was with Joe Adonis.
Right.
Close with Costello.
Did you had to know the stories about that?
Well, he sat down, indirectly, when he got old and talked about when he did a score with Lucky and I don't know if Lucky was on the score, but it was Joe Adonis and Frank Costello. They were I think it was a crap game or a speakeasy. They went in there and they robbed everybody's money and the jewelry off of all the ladies and Joe Shep said that the only thing he wouldn't do, he wouldn't take a woman's wedding band. Right, and then he used to kiss their hands. That's why they called him Gentleman Joe. It's fact. Everybody knows they called him Gentleman Joe because on a score he used to be nice to the woman and never took the wedding band. So he was told stuff like that. He did mention that that Albert killed Anastasia killed his boss.
Really?
Yeah, in Red Hook. That's what he said.
His boss, meaning?
Who was a boss before him.
Okay.
Vincent Mangano, I think his name was Vincent. He said he killed him. That's what he said.
Interesting.
That's what Joe said. He also mentioned a couple other things that was, just interesting about being around politicians through Frank Costello. Like I said, I met Frank Costello, because, and another keyboard moron says, "Who are you to go see Frank?" I didn't go see Frank Costello. I wanted to be in the asshole driving because you need young guys with the drivers.
Right.
It's common in this world. If you know anything about our world, that's what we do. That's how we start. Right. Driving, taking numbers, doing that. And I wound up having taken Joe Shep to go meet Frank Costello in Manhattan.
Wow.
That's how I met him. I didn't go see him. I didn't go invite on to meet. I had to be a driver.
Yeah.
And that's how I wound up seeing Costello, because we parked the car in front. I was sitting in the car. They were sitting outside at the restaurant. And Costello said, "Who's sitting in the car?" He goes, "That's my nephew, Frankie." So tell him to sit with us. That's it. They didn't tell me nothing or spoke about anything. It's just that I happened to be privy that day. I mean, if I was an Uber driver, and it could have been nice and said, sit at the bar or sit over here instead of sitting in the car. I never said anything more than that. But people say, "What are you doing with Frank Costello?" People stupid, man. That's what the stupidity about this whole thing is.
Yeah, the keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warrior, man.
How about your first pinch? Well, better yet, what about your first score? Do you remember your first score?
Yeah, first score was a dime. It was, I get mixed up with the first score, but I think the first score was a diamond score.
Give me any. Give me any.
It was a diamond score. Joe Castro.
Was that your favorite score?
Yeah, it was pretty good. That was the first time we were talked about on TV, so it was pretty cool. We were young. Joe Castro grabbed me. They needed two guys to go do a diamond score in Manhattan. They had a place to get in. me and another kid, Marty, passed away now. We went with Joe Castro. We go in there, tie up these guys, rob all kinds of diamonds and jewelry and stuff like that. We get out of there, got out of there safe. No one got hurt. We got out. We're in the. Joe gave us. He fenced everything. Gave us a couple $1,000, if a couple $1,000 at the time, because we were low man on a totem pole, so you get screwed. But it was enough money for us. And we were sitting around, and on the TV comes up that about the score, the diamond robbery, and there's this Jewish guy stating, showing that we missed the stash where all the good diamonds were, like that. And he had his head bandaged up, and he was laughing on TV that we missed the good stuff.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that was the first one. And we got a couple $1,000. I don't even know got to it. Maybe I got 1,000, 1,500. The big boys kept all the money. You know, they give you a piece to.
But you could have got about 500,000, maybe.
But at that time, I think the Castro got about. I swear to God, he probably got about $80,000 after he fenced everything for that. I think we got two. I think me and Marty got 2,500.
You missed the good stash.
Oh, you would have got, man, forget about it. It would have been big. Yeah. It was probably worth 3 times more than that, the stuff they robbed. But the fence, you get a third. You know, they got a third of it. And then he had to give up to his boss. He had to take his. But in the low, on the totem pole, we got maybe 3,000. We got, thank you, and got it. And I think that's the first score we went on.
Do you remember the last score?
The last
thing you did, besides when you decided that you were done? Or in general?
The last score we did, I got called in on a load of swag. That was the last thing we did. It was coming out of Kennedy. It was a bunch of women clothing, and it came right to us. We had a store on a loose storefront with the Screw magazine on in Coral Street in Brooklyn, and they come in and they just dropped everything off into our back of our room, and we must have sold.
Coil, Sheep's Bay?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Right across the street from Thrifty. We had a store there for a while.
Nice.
And we must have made about 20,000, 30,000 on the last score. And that was after that.
That's interesting.
Nothing. After that, Anthony wound up getting pinched. Anthony Rotunda getting pinched, and that was it. But that was like probably the last score somebody came.
You did time though, right?
No.
You never did time?
No.
They tried to catch you for something?
I got 11 arrests, and I beat every case. Every case.
11 arrests?
11.
Do you remember all 11 of them or no?
I remember the first one was assault. That was the one at El Bolero when I broke that guy's head open with a pool stick in El Bolero.
You got to tell me that story.
Yeah.
Tell me the El Bolero story.
Louis the Syrian had a court terrace on Court Street. It was a Gallo bar. It was a nice bar, Court and Atlantic Avenue. And Louis the Syrian grabbed me and says, I need somebody to watch the place. I was young. And he goes, to watch the place at night. I said, okay. So I was there watching the place, drinking, doing havoc and, getting too stupid. And one day, we hung out in a place about 2 blocks away called El Bolero. We used to go there drinking now and then. A couple of my friends were in there drinking, and a fight broke out. One of the guys ran to me and to the bar I was in and said, Frankie boy, there was a battle down at the El Bolero. I left the place. I went down there in the middle of this ruckus. I picked up a thing. I cracked the first guy saw, over the head that I didn't know, and I cracked this open. And 2 of my friends got stabbed that night. Marty Sanchez, guy Joe got and another kid got stabbed. So we had to take him to the hospital. After we got out of the place, we had to take him to the hospital. And I couldn't move my left arm because on the way out, somebody hit me with a blackjack, and it deadened my arm. But it hurt. It was dead, but I had to take these guys to the hospital. So we went to Long Island College Hospital, and I got them in there. And on the way out, the other guys the owner of the El Bolero was in there, and he's pointing, the cops are coming in, and he's pointing, those are the guys, that's the guy. And I wanted to get pinched for assault at the hospital.
How'd you beat that case?
Well, they wanted us to, we knocked it down, and we they wanted us to pay restitution because we broke all the windows, big windows in the place. Everything was broken. They wanted to pay restitution. So they said, you got to pay restitution. Okay. I was in a week. I was in 4 days before I made bail. And when I got out, and then we went back and wanted to pay restitution. So in between that, some guys from Fraser Street went to the bar there, and he has all wrapped up, and they said to him, you know, we didn't know who he was. He goes, well, you go back and tell him we don't have to pay nothing. And they went back to court, no restitution.
Oh.
And that guy, about 3 weeks later, gets pinched, the owner of the bar. Had a body downstairs. A week before we had that day, he just killed somebody, and they buried him in the basement at the El Ballet. It's all on record. You can look it up.
Wow.
1972, 3, like that.
Wow.
And he wanted to do a life bid because they had a body. It was all junk dealers. They were all Spanish junk dealers.
It was a terrible time to, be in the news over that. He should have kept nice and quiet.
Yeah, but that's, I think because after that fight, I don't know, something came in, and I don't know why they came in. And they found that body down there, and that's what happened at El Boleros. Yeah.
And there was another story about something that happened at the Court Terrace.
What's the Court Terrace?
The Court Terrace, one of your first scores?
The Court Terrace. Oh,
I read a book.
Yeah, Court Terrace is when Joe Castro again got in touch with us. They were doing. He got some word that they in the docks they were throwing some dope off the docks, off the boat, and he needed us to go. He was going with another guy. He needed 2 more guys to watch. So we were on end of Pierpont Street, looking down at the boat. And he was supposed to give us I forgot who's that. I think we had beepers. Supposed to beep us, and we were supposed to come down, give me a hand. But he went to the top because he wanted us to watch everything. So what happened? It was late. It was 11 o'clock at night, freezing. And we're sitting in the car, and 5 o'clock in the morning, it's getting light. Nothing happened, right? So we leave. Me, Marty, and this guy, Stevie Clark, leave, and we go back to the Court Terrace. And he comes walking in about 15 minutes later and says, where were you? I says, it's freezing out. It's raining. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's light. No one got in touch, and we left. Right after we pulled away, guys, they threw the dope or packages over the boat, off the boat, and some other guys took it.
I was going to say, there was no one there to take it.
They couldn't take it. There was other guys there already and took it. And we wound up later on finding out that it was the Colombo guys from Dirty Avenue. It was their score. They were watching the whole thing.
Oh, so you would have been fucked up.
We were fucked because we didn't know. Castro didn't tell us how he got the score, but we blew that one. Meanwhile, I had to buy a gun. It cost me like $30. I almost got pneumonia for sitting in the car.
A gun was $30 back then?
Yeah, $30. It was $38.
That's what's funny, man.
I got almost pneumonia because it was freezing out. We had to keep the car off. It was freezing out, and we got nothing out of it. I lost $30.
I have to ask the question that probably, most likely, anybody who's reading the magazine or watching the show wants to know about Frank DiMatteo. Did you ever kill somebody?
No.
In all the years that you've been in that life?
No.
Were you ever present while somebody was needed to go?
I was privy to a couple of things. You still can't talk about because there's no statute of limitation in it. But my answer is no.
Okay. All right. Privy to a couple of things.
And do I want to tell that? Do I think it's nice? No. I don't think it's nice in the first place, but no.
Well, assuming that the person who had to go because they did something wrong.
Definitely.
Of course, I'm not.
Definitely.
That's basically.
And what I was privy to, they all deserve it 3 more times.
Okay.
I think they should be dug up and killed again. But
right.
that's neither here nor there. Is it right? Is it wrong? It's a philosophy.
Any high, again, I don't expect you to really answer, verbatim, but any popular or high notary mobsters that your father might have got rid of?
My father wanted to kill Mooney, John Catrone, for 10 years. Took him 10 years to kill him. And he wound up killing him with him and Tony Bernardo, killed him. I mean, I know Bobby and Preston was on the Chiraz hit. I know that for a fact. I mean, so, stuff like that I know, I know I got a new book coming out soon, and I got a couple of things there that I'm not going to talk about until the book comes out.
What book?
We're going to do a book, another Gallo book. We're going to do, but we're going to do it in the near. We're working on it now,
Right.
but we're not going to release it for another little while. And there's a couple of things in there that no one.
Is it going to talk about the hits?
There's two in there that it's always been up in the air and up in the air. That I was privy to two.
So you're going to basically, again,
Yeah,
not necessarily a tell-all, but you're going
it's tell-all because they're all
you're going
dead.
to be able to speak
They're all dead
about
100 years.
two hits that basically.
That people still scratch their head about. So that I know of. But I'll wait.
That's interesting.
I'll wait
Do you
till
have a
it's
title
over.
of that book?
Nah, not yet.
Well, we're going to put it on mobcandymagazine.com.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it
Right?
as soon
We'll,
as.
we'll throw it. We'll throw it in the.
We'll just wait and wait. It's gonna be a little way down the line. We're writing it now, but
Right.
me and Mike is writing it now. But
Yeah.
we're
All
still
of the
waiting.
stuff that we do is the hub is www.mobcandymagazine.com.
Right.
Which I don't even know if you say www.
I don't have no idea.
No, because it's probably just
The last-
mobcandymagazine.com.
Yeah, that's the best one.
And again, we it's what we do. People are curious, and
We got good stories. The magazine's good. Books are good. It's entertainment. That's what we're here for.
I like the podcast better.
Yeah,
It's fun.
yeah, it is fun. It's fun. It's
that-
entertainment. That's what we're here for.
We're getting the wrap up. Sign. So we're gonna wrap up. Thank you guys for listening. This wraps up another episode of Mob Candy Magazine TV. Get all your stuff, Mob Candy stuff on social media. Just Google it, Mob Candy Magazine, and all the podcasts to just listen to are on iTunes, Spotify, everything. You can get podcasts just to listen to it, or if you want to watch it, you can watch all of the episodes in full at mobcandymagazine.com. We'll see you later.
Thank you.